We're going to take a look at drawing the exercise files from this chapter. So that is on your PDF, and I'm going to start new, of course, and this is in inches, so make sure I'm in English and standard, and I'll pick create. Now the drawing that we're going to be looking at is this one right here. Okay, so I have to decide where I'm going to start drawing. I think the best way to start this, I'm going to start here and draw the right hand side first. Okay, so that's the first one I'm going to draw. So I'm going to go in here to new sketch, and I'm going to go to the right hand side, which is the YZ plane. Okay, alright, I'm going to start drawing my steps there. I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to go straight up, and I'm going to go 0.75. And then I'm going to go back. Now that is 2.25 minus 1.5. So I'm going to type that in. 2.25 minus 1.5. Okay, now I got to make sure that my line is straight. Mine was crooked there, so try this again. 2.25 minus 1.5 gives me that line there. I'm going to go straight up again, and I'm going to go, we got 1.25 minus 0.75. I'm going to go back this way, and that is going to be 1.5 minus 0.75. And I'm going to go straight up, and that is going to be 1.75 minus 1.25. Okay, I'm going to go back this way, and that is 0.75. Come straight down 90 degrees till I get to this point. If I want, I can make sure I get that line right there. Make sure I'm 90 degrees right there, and bring it right to this edge right here. Okay, I want to check some of my dimensions, so I go here. That is 1.75. If I go to do that, it will say it's going to over constrain it. So I can say accept. Okay, and what it's going to do is just put that there as a reference so I know that I'm doing the right thing. Okay, I can also do the same thing here, and that is 2.25, and I'll accept that. Okay, these dimensions won't hurt anything, just won't be used. And I'll pick finish. Now what I want to do is now I want to extrude it. Okay, and I'm going to extrude that. Pick extrude, and I'm going to pick extrude, and I'm going to go 4 inches. Okay, so I have my right hand side done. Okay, so now we're going to go to the front view, and if I again look at the drawing, here is the front view. So what I need to do is I need to go over 1.4, 0.25, connect the two. Alright, so I'm going to go to start a new sketch. I'm going to start on the front view. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line from this endpoint over here, which is 1.4. And I hit enter. I draw a line here that goes up 0.25, and I'll connect the two of them. Okay, now I'm not going to extrude this part. This is the part that's going to be left. I'm going to extrude this part here, so I need to finish those lines. So I'm going to go here to here to here and pick OK. Alright, I'm going to finish my sketch. Okay, so now you see I have this spot here that I'm going to extrude. I'm going to pick extrude. I'm going to pick here. Now notice it didn't pick this bottom part, so I have to pick that as well. I want to cut it, and I want to cut it all the way through. And I'm going to pick OK, and now I have my views. If I take a look at my front view, okay, that looks exactly right there. Here's my top view, which will look like that. Looks pretty good. And then my right side view will look like this. Okay, so it all looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go back to my isometric view, and I'm going to save this. I'm going to File, Save As. I want to look where I want to put it, and I'm just going to call this Example 1. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to slap it on a piece of paper. Alright, so I'm going to take and I'm going to open up the templates that we made before. So I'm going to open, and this is an A size inches. I'm going to pick open. Okay, so here is my A size inches. Now what I want to do first is I want to go File, Save As. Okay, and I want to do this right away, and I'm going to call this Example 1 Chapter 3, so I can remember where it's at. I'm going to pick Save. Okay, now when we go to put a drawing on a piece of paper, what we have to do is, again, you'll notice that we have a different setup up here because we are in a drawing instead of a part. So I'm going to pick base, and the base is going to pick where we want to start. Okay, and it's always going to start with what it thinks is the front view. Okay, if it's not the part I want, I can go here to open existing drawings, and then I can find it, but this is the one we want. Okay, I can slide it over here. Now to make the right side view, all I do is drag it over here to this side. Okay, drag it up here to that side. I'm going to have to move them around a little bit. So I can take and move this down, and then take and move that up a little bit. Okay, and all I do is pick OK. Alright, so now I have my drawing there. Okay, in order to fill in the block, I need to fix some of the stuff here. Okay, so I'm going to go to iProperties, the summary, and this is called Example 1. I'm going to put my caps lock on. Make sure that I put my caps lock on. Now I can put my title, Example 1. Make sure my name is right there. The project, if I had a part number, P0001, whatever it is, description, Example 1. Okay, and I can put any of this other information that I want, but that's all I want. So I'm going to go to physical, and let's say that this is aluminum. So make it 6061 aluminum, and we'll pick OK. You notice that the color has changed because it's going to pick the color of aluminum. Okay, and I'll save that. Go back to my drawing. Okay, now notice my name's not fixed. The date is right, the aluminum. Okay, the title and the drawing number are okay, so I need to go up here to iProperties. Okay, summary, the title's okay, but I can put it here if I want. Example 1. The author, this time I'm going to change it to me. Okay, all this is okay. I can change this, to what it is, part 0001, description, example 1. Okay, and everything else should be okay. And I pick OK. Now I have my drawing. Okay, I have my 3 views. Okay, now I want to make sure that I have an isometric view. What I can do is I can go up here and pick projected. Now I can pick whatever view I want. So if I pick this one, okay, I can make that isometric view anywhere I want. If I go in here, pick this one, okay, a little strange one, but I can pick those. Okay, if I wanted this one, I could pick these. So depending on which view I want to look at, okay, I kind of like this one. That kind of like shows it nice. And I'm just going to slap that right there, and I'll pick Create. Excuse me. Now what I like to do, okay, one thing, I'm going to move these out of the way a little bit. Maybe just a little bit down. Notice that this view, when I move it down, this one moves with it. When I move it over, this one moves with it. Okay, so that's not so bad. Now, if I were putting dimensions on, that would not be great, but it'll be okay. Now, if I double click on this, okay, I get my drawing view. Here we'll see the style. Now I can put hidden views and hidden lines in there if I want. So if I go here where it says style, hidden lines, pick OK and you'll see any hidden lines. Now it's not normal for us to put hidden lines in an isometric. I can also pick right here, that's what the default was. Okay, was no hidden lines, and then I go here and that's shaded. Now, I kind of like shaded. Okay, of course I didn't pick it, but I kind of like shaded. Kind of looks nice shaded. Okay, also on there, okay, I have things like display options if I'm showing any threads, okay, and tangent lines and things like that. Model state we don't have to worry about, and I can just pick OK. Now I would just save this. Now again, make sure that you've renamed it from your template file, and I pick save. Okay, and that is our first example. Okay, let's take a look at our second example. Here it is. I'm going to draw this one. Now again, I'm going to start looking at what I want to draw first. Now, since I have this radius here, I'll probably start with the top view. Another thing I want you to know is that this is 35, 55, unless it's really a big piece of inches, this more than likely is a millimeter drawing. Okay, so let's go back to here, and we're going to pick open, and this time I'm going to pick my millimeter title block. Okay. Now for some reason, and this might happen to you, it's not showing up there, and I'm going to go here and zoom off so it shows up. It's fine. Alright, now I'm going to make this a B-size drawing, just because I want to. So I'm going to go right click on sheet, I'm going to go to edit sheet, and I'm going to make this a B-size, and I pick OK. So that's where I'm going to put it. I'm going to go to file, save as, and this is going to be example 2 chapter 3. Okay, now I do need to draw the drawing first, so I'm going to go to, that's why that does that, it's my mouse. Okay, I'm going to go to open, nope, I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to go to new. Okay, I'm going to go to metric, and I'm going to make this a standard millimeter drawing. Okay, again I'm going to start the sketch, and I said I want to start at the top view. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing a circle. I'll put it at the origin, and notice that it is 35 millimeters, and that's the radius. So I can either type in 35 times, whoops. Okay, so now I got 335. I'm going to go to dimension. Okay, so I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to change this to 35 times 2. Okay, just in case that happens to you sometimes. So you'll see it's 70. Alright, so now you'll see that from here I'll draw a line. Okay, right there, and you'll feel it kind of snap there. And I will draw there, and notice it is tangent. Okay, and from that center to there is 55. I'll go down to here, find the tangent line to that. Right there, you'll see that little dotted line. Come over to here. I'm going to pick OK. Now I want to make sure that that is tangent. I'm going to go tangent here and make sure this line and that line is tangent. And make sure that, let's try that again. I'm going to make sure that this line and that one is tangent, and this line and that line is tangent. That one already was tangent. We saw that before. So I don't need to put that there. Okay, I'm going to trim this guy up here. Alright, now I'm going to leave that hole, or no I'm not. I'm going to put that circle here. Now, you'll notice it's not on this center, so I'm just going to move it over to here, somewhere. and I'm going to go up, and that is 20 diameter, so I'm going to type in 20. I'm going to dimension from this spot to here, and that is going to be 35. Okay, now what I wanted to show you now, I'm going to finish the sketch. Okay, now if I go to extrude this, okay, I can extrude that, and that puts a hole in it. I don't want that, so I'm going to undo that one. Now if I pick this one, okay, well, unfortunately I cannot extrude both of these. Okay, so I'm just going to have to extrude that part. If you notice, I paused there a minute. I was not going to draw that circle, but I'm going to show you that you have to create a new sketch to do that. Okay, so I had a hard time remembering when I first started drawing in Inventor that you can't, if you're extruding things different depth or height, you have to put them on a different sketch. Okay, so here I'm going to do this one, and this was what is it, 30. I'm going to type in 30, pick OK. Now I can put that boss sticking up there, so I'll go to new sketch, and I need to put it here. Okay, I'll do what I did before. I'll just put a circle here. Okay, and I'm going to go and put this at 20. Then I'll dimension this from here to here, and that is 35. And then I'll finish the sketch. Now I can extrude that. I'll pick this one again. If I pick the wrong spot, that's not what I want. I can go here and clear the section, selection, click there. Now I want to see how far that is. Okay, now that is, according to the drawing, 60 from the bottom. Okay, and the thickness of that bottom part is 30, so if I go 60 minus 30, okay, it's kind of a nice feature that you can do any kind of math when it's asking for a distance. You can use brackets, you can use multiply, divide. Okay, it's pretty handy. I'm going to pick OK. So now I have this. Now what I have to do is I have a hole to put in the back here and a hole to put on the side. Okay, now I could, for example, so let's say for this hole on this side. Okay, I'm going to go here to create a new sketch, and I'll put it on that surface. I'm going to draw a circle, pick a spot, and let's see, that circle is 20. Okay, so I'm going to type in 20, and I just noticed a problem I had with that boss sticking up there. I made that 20 because I read the wrong dimension. It should be 30, so we're going to look at how to fix that in a minute. Okay, so now I want to go to dimension, and from here to here is 15, and from here to that center line is 35. Okay, so now I can finish the sketch. I can extrude that through. Okay, I want to cut it because it's a hole and I want to go all the way through, and I'll pick OK. Now again, I said that I drew this the wrong size. Okay, so what I have to do is find out where I did that. So that was under extrusion 2. If I open extrusion 2, here is the sketch that I made. Okay, I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to pick edit sketch. Okay, I'm going to double click on 20 there, and I'm going to change that to 30. Okay, and I pick finish sketch. Okay, and our drawing has been fixed as if by magic. Okay, really nice feature. Okay, now I want to put a looks like a counter bore in there, and it's going to be on the back side here. So what I want to do is I'm going to hold my shift button down, then hold my mouse button in the middle down, and while I'm holding both of them, I can bring this around this way. Whoops. Okay, and then if I wanted to, I could make a new sketch here. Okay, but we're going to use the hole command. Now the nice thing about the hole command is it lets us do things like countersinks and counterbores and threads. Okay, and it's really, really, really nice. Okay, and we can do that while we're in our 3D view. Okay, so I need to be able to see this face right here. Okay, if I want to swing that around a little bit, I can do like before and hold the shift button down, or I can come over here to the orbit command. Okay, and just make it so I can see it pretty nice. Right click and pick OK. I'm going to go to hole. Okay, and when I go to hole, I'll get this, and you'll see that I have different holes, and we'll talk about that in a second. I want to know where I want to put the hole. Okay, now it doesn't matter. If I put it here, it will automatically put it in the right direction. If I put here, notice it will do it in that direction. So I want it here. Okay, now the thing is, I want to make it in the right place. Okay, now it's a little tricky to remember how to do this. Okay, so I want to go from this edge. Okay, so I just click on this edge and I'll put a dimension there. Right now that's 37.613. I'm going to change that to 35. Now don't hit enter. That's the tricky part. If you hit enter, okay, you're going to start a new hole. So then I'm going to come here, and from the bottom, that dimension is 15. Again, do not hit enter. Okay, so now here is the type of hole. I have a simple hole, okay, which is just the hole we're going to use here. Now I have a clearance hole. If I pick clearance hole, it wants to know like what kind of screw do I want. So if I were using a flathead machine screw that was a number 10, it would automatically put that in there. Now of course I would pick ISO, and that's an M2, so that would be that. Okay, or if I wanted a thread, I can pick whatever thread I want. If I wanted a tapered hole, okay, this is a countersink, I can do that. Now this is just a plain hole, so I'm going to go through there. Okay, now I have different options. I can go a distance, how deep I want it. I can go in the direction that I want to go to. I can go whether it's going to have a flat or a pointed end. Most of the time when you drill a hole, it's going to have a pointed end here, okay, from the drill bit. We'll talk about that when we get there. Okay, but what I really want to do here is I want a simple hole, but I want to make it with a counter bore. Okay, so you'll see there's two lines. That is called a counter bore. Okay, it's so we can put a screw in there or a bolt in there so the head doesn't stick up. Okay, so now I need the dimensions of it. Now if you notice on our drawing, it says 10 diameter, okay, and it says 20 with a weird sign, and then it has a down with 10. What that means is this little hole here is diameter of 10. So I'm going to make that 10 millimeters. Okay, now notice I get an error up here because that's too big. Now the next one says counter bore of 20, so I'm going to make this 20. All right, like that, and it wants to know how deep, which is here, and that is 10. So I'm going to add 10 there. Now it wants to know where I want to do it. Okay, well I'm coming right to this hole. Okay, so I'm going to hold my shift button down and go this way a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go here, and that allows me to go to a surface or a feature. So I'm going to go to this hole. Okay, now it looks like it's going to go through to the other side, but it won't. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure I got what I want. Okay, the counter bore is 20, 10 deep, 10. Now it doesn't matter what I make on here as the end point because it's going to go right to here, so it's going through there, so I won't see that. I'm going to pick OK. Okay, and now again, if I shift this around, you'll see that now I have a counter bore that goes through to that center spot there. Okay, now I have my drawing now, or my part. Now what we're going to do is put that drawing or put that part on a piece of paper. Before I put it on the piece of paper, I got to do a couple of different things. One thing is I want to go up here to our eye properties. Okay, in our summary, this is example 2. me. Okay, again, I can put Camden County College, but it's already there. Project, part number, I don't know, part 0002. Okay, description is example 2. And physical, and let's make this, I don't know, we'll make it stainless steel. Okay, so I'm just going to pick stainless steel right here. I don't know what class I want to use, so I'm just going to pick stainless steel. Pick OK. Now as you can see, it's shiny. And now I'm going to save. I'm going to file, save. Okay, and this is example 2, chapter 3. Okay, I'm going to go over here to the drawing that we had set up already. I'm going to go to base now. It will automatically use what I used before. Here I can set the scale. Okay, so if I wanted this, that's probably too big. That's too small. 1:1 is just right. So I'm going to take and I'm going to slide this over when I get the 2 arrows there. Okay, probably want to bring it down a little bit, maybe there. Go over here, put the side view. Okay, here's the top view. Okay, I may want to fix that a little bit. So I don't want this view. Okay, so now you'll notice that I get an X here. I don't want that view. I don't want that view. I want to change this one. Okay, so I go up here and I can move it around. If I want the top view, bottom view, left, right, whatever I want it. Now what I want is, in our example, it's kind of sitting like this. Okay, so I'm going to take a look, and now my top view is going to be there, which is probably better, and my right side view, so I can see that hole, is going to be there. Okay, and if I know I want to take my isometric from here, okay, I could slap it right there, move it how I want. Okay, pick OK. Alright, now I have my 3 views. Again, I like to shade the top one. Okay, also I don't like this line right here. I think I can go here and display options and take off tangent edges. And there, that line goes away because it really shouldn't show. Okay, all I need to do here now is go into here to eye properties. Okay, the title's okay, everything's all right there. Under project, everything is okay there. Under status, I want to put checked by. I'm going to put Smith. Okay, anything else? I think that is it. We pick OK. Okay, and now we have our drawing. We have our views. Okay, and that is it.